Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Happy Human Rights Day. And of course, every year on the 21st of March, South Africa commemorates Human Rights Day as a reminder of the sacrifices that accompany the struggle for the attainment of democracy in the country. Now, as the country observes this important day in South African history today, the team from the Justice Desk joins us in studio to tell us more about Human Rights Day and also our basic human rights. Welcome so much to Jessica and Ignatius.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Before we unpack what this day means to us as a country, let's start with the work that you guys do, the Justice Desk. What is it you do and why is it so important for you guys to do this?
So the Justice Desk, we were founded in 2013 with the mission of promoting the power of everyday activists. So we believe that the real experts as to what their issues are, but also how to solve it, are community members themselves. But because of our history of colonization and apartheid, not all people have the same access to knowledge and skills and tools and resources. So what we do is we'll come in, we'll empower, we'll educate, and we'll equip everyday people to be change makers and human rights defenders. And we're a youth-inspired, led-run organization. We operate across South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. We are in 50 schools. We work against gender-based violence, human rights violations, child abuse, human trafficking, to name a few. But ultimately, we're here to empower everyday people to be change makers, because we believe that's the only way change happens, when the everyday person is equipped and empowered to do it themselves.
I love that. I love the work that you're doing. Of course, I spoke about the fact that I've been seeing this on social media with the people that you've been using for this platform. But let's do a brief history day, just with regards to what this day means for South Africa, Human Rights Day.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those days that we often kind of, brush over. It becomes just an ordinary public holiday, but it's something that we always need to take pause on because people did lose their lives on Human Rights Day on the 21st of March, 1960. But I think it's the sacrifices that so many had made, the ultimate sacrifice of laying down their lives, but also dedicating their lives to the fight and pursuit of justice and human rights in this country, but I think across the continent, really. So I think that's the historical importance of this day. Yeah.
And why do you think then it's so important that we commemorate this day and not look past it and really celebrate what this day means for all of us?
I think if we remember that, the day really started with people trying to fight for their rights and accessing basic human rights and making sure that they are able to access opportunities. So I think as we continue and as we grow as a country, we need to always remember that we come from that past. And even though that is in the past, we haven't really achieved the ideals of what people have laid down their lives for. People are still hungry, people are still unemployed, people are still denied access to basic services, to basic opportunities. So even as we grow as a country, we still need to reimagine and work towards the ideals that all of those people have sacrificed their lives for.
Oh, 100%. And like you mentioned earlier, briefly, this day usually becomes just part of another holiday, another public holiday. How is this day generally commemorated, and what are you and the team doing on this day?
Yeah, I mean, as Iggy said, it's incredibly important to remember where we came from as a country and to celebrate all the wins we've had in regards to human rights, because we've done incredible work as a country and as everyday people. But it's incredibly important to recognize that we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of people who do not have access to their basic human rights and freedoms. So for us, it's about continually educating and empower people to be human rights defenders. We always say to people, how can you defend your rights if you don't even know what they are? And most people, I'll say, can you name 30? And they go, no. 20? No. 5? No. 1? Yes, maybe 1. And that's the problem, is a lot of us, we don't know what our rights are, so how can we defend them? And most importantly, how can we defend the rights of other people? So as an organization, we started a campaign for this month called My Rights, Your Rights, Our Responsibility. And for us, it's about saying, dream of the South Africa that you want, but recognize that you need to be a part of making that a reality. So we all have a responsibility to build the South Africa that everyone deserves, not just a few people. So for us, it's about, people can go over to our website, they can access our educational materials there, everything is available and free. But ultimately, it's about saying, it's time for every single South African to stop and reflect and say, what are my rights? Therefore, what are your rights? rights and what are our responsibilities to make that happen.
Well, we are going to unpack what our basic human rights are in just a minute. So thank you so much for staying with us. But of course, you at home, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show as we have more on human rights with the Justice Desk team after this.